this topic today is one that people ask me all the time. Like, yo, Kristen, I've been watching you and your journey and the ups and downs, but I don't know where to start. What do I do? I just invested in a program or a coach or a mentor, and or I just got let go from my job, or I'm changing what I'm doing, or I'm ready to like start my own business or finally lean into my expertise to monetize it, but I don't know where to start. Listen, I hear you. If you don't know much about my story, it goes a little bit like this. April 17th, 2023, I was let go from my job completely unexpectedly. And I turned what happened to me into what happened for me by leaning all the way in to monetize my expertise. That was sales and leadership. I had, in fact, was just writing my book, Be a Better Sales Leader, in the midst of losing my job, continued to release the book, and knew that although I didn't want to be known as a corporate sales trainer, that was the fastest path to cash. And what I learned in an 18-month period is the things I'm going to share with you now so that you can avoid some of the mistakes I made and speed the time it takes for you to be living your life of fulfillment and dreams and happiness. Because I absolutely loved serving my clients with sales strategies. I took the easy path. Someone write down easy path. I took the easy path and sold my sales consulting to the industry in which I had spent almost 20 years because I had so much know, like, and trust within this industry. And there was a huge long tail of companies that needed my help. I couldn't even possibly get to all of them. And so, one of the mistakes I learned, and this is kind of like leading into the topic then of this training, which is like, if I were to start over in 2025, what are the three moves I would make to fast track my way to monetization, cash, and therefore increasing my impact and influence, right? Because I'm going to set somebody free right now in that there's two things that are probably on all of our hearts. There's the things that we really want to do. That's going to look a little bit different for everybody, but like start an orphanage or have a nonprofit. Okay, anything from that to like, oh, I really want to serve this group of people, and maybe this group of people is an underserved group of like people, but there's not a lot of money within this group of people. Okay, that's the things that we want to do. Put that on your whiteboard and do not lose sight of that. Anchor that as one of your whys. But what we need to do is monetize our expertise and iterate along the way. Like, you have permission to iterate your business. Like your whole business, you have permission to start off monetizing as an entrepreneur out of pure necessity. Mega financial crisis happening in my family in April 2023 that I didn't have an hour to wait, let alone a day or a week or a month or a season to figure things out. I needed to lean in so fast and so hard. And sure enough, thank you so much to my very first client, I won the day I got let go from my job. And then I started to snowball my momentum. And they know I love them and all of my clients, right? My journey over 18 months took a very interesting up and down, twists and turns. But it's okay when you iterate who you are as an entrepreneur and you learn to kind of change with the times, if you may. So I knew I didn't want to be a corporate sales trainer, but that was the easiest way to monetize. And I loved it, right? So I loved it. Um, Here's what I didn't know. So write this down. one of the things you need is a system. I was selling myself. And that meant that I was doing a lot of the work. And that meant that I was in back to back to back, like implementation calls, okay, implementation meetings. I was constantly working. I was making great money. I was sustaining my financial, like where I needed to be for the financial, this crazy financial crisis we were in. But then I was running out of space on my calendar, and I was using all the hacks I teach on these big stages about time blocking and meeting stacking and all the things. But I was running out of space on my calendar to prospect. And as a salesperson, the one rule that I know from my very first yellow page sales job is that if your pipeline isn't consistently getting replenished and full, then eventually you will have a stalemate. You will run out of opportunity when naturally contracts expire, clients are ready to move on, they've gotten what they needed from you. So the first problem was I didn't have a system. I was selling myself. And the second problem was, did you hear what the problem was? I've already articulated it. The second problem was I was selling one to one and implementing. And so what happened was I started hating not my clients, but my days. I could barely carve off time for mental health, time to go to the gym, time to like decompress before I picked my young toddlers up from preschool and kindergarten. I barely had time for me. And the irony is when I lost my job April 17th, 2023, I was like, okay, this is my line in the sand moment, and I'm going to make all this time for me. And what started off well-intentioned, blocking 8 to 9, 12 to 1, 4 to 5, all of a sudden became scope creep. And I started covering up those hours with meetings to implement and get things done, right? And so no regrets, but like what would I do today if I needed to start over? I would sell a system, not myself, and I would learn the art of selling one to many. Because when you learn the art of selling one to many, now you don't need to have back to back to back prospecting calls and constantly be sliding into people's DMs asking, are they open to meetings? Now you can gather all of these people in one place, educate them by telling great transformative stories and helping them overcome objections that they have about X, Y, or Z, the needle they're trying to move in their business, their corporation, or their solopreneur business, and give them the system. You can actually teach the system that you create in that masterclass, webinar, one-to-many online event. Okay, so let me summarize so far the two things. One is have a system. The cool thing is you can charge a lot of money for that system. And that is one of the things I help people see and realize is how to charge higher prices for these systems that you create based on all of your own expertise. And two is learn the art of selling one to many so that you can be free from back-to-back implementation and prospecting. The cool thing is when you learn the strategies of creating systems and charging what they're actually worth, you aren't going to be death by implementation. So there is like a ripple effect from setting your business up right. So I would create a high ticket offer. I would learn the art of selling one to many. And then all I would do next is rinse and repeat. One of the best pieces of advice I've gotten recently was you have permission to iterate. So what you create today doesn't need to be the thing that you still sell tomorrow. When you're learning how to create a system and charge higher prices for it and then sell one to many, if you do it consistently, because consistency compounds, and if you lean in and if you listen, we teach all types of fun strategies like ask campaigns in order to give the people what they want and like sell them what they need, sell them what they give them what they want, sell them what they need. But like really like an ask campaign, the idea is, hey, what do you need? And then give them what they need. Somebody asked me in my private group, hey, I attended this event, I've got this mentor, right? What would you do first? And that's it, right? We all have mentors. We all are going to these events. We're learning. It's not the lack of information, it's knowing what to do first, second, and third. And so that is why the 3 steps in this video is create a system based on your expertise, you know, all of the things you know. I teach you how many steps. Are they steps? Are they pillars? I teach you how to do market research, to model your offers after. I teach you all of that stuff. So 1 is create a system. 2 is sell that system one to many. Gather a group of people and sell them one to many. I teach you how to fill these events. I teach you how to attract people into your network. I teach you how to go from messy to momentum, how to lean into imperfect action, because your first masterclass using this system is going to be different than your 15th masterclass, and that's good. That's how it should be. You'll find other people to partner with. You'll find other opportunities for collaboration. You'll find tuck-in offers and bolt-on offers, and we teach you what all of those things mean and then how to make that work for you. And then simply, but probably the most hard part is step 3, which is rinse and repeat, right? Because so often we do one thing and no one shows up, or we do one thing and we have no sales. We've all been there. I've held so many master classes where one person showed up, so many master classes where there haven't been any sales. But consistency compounds. And so I give you the strategies in order to dust yourself off, pick yourself back up like the toddler learning how to walk, and kind of get back in the arena so that you can iterate. Was it your script? Was it your pitch? Was it your offer? Was it the audience? Like, iterate the various parts of the system that might have broken for you in the last masterclass in order to have the confidence to do it again. All right, I hope this was helpful for somebody. Let me know how else I can serve you. I'm really dedicated to like getting these short videos out, seeing what information is really transformative and what information you're like, no, Kristen, we're good, we got this. But let me know in the comments like what you liked, what you want more of, and I invite you to say yes to sevenfigureoffers.com to register for an upcoming masterclass where I'm going to teach this system and more in a live online training. Okay, I hope to see you there.